King of my life, I crown thee now. Thine shall the glory be. Lest I forget thy thorn crowned brow. Lead me, Jesus, to Calvary. Lest I forget how you prayed on Gethsemane in the garden. And lest I forget how you suffered your agony on Calvary.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is an excellent day to serve an excellent God in and with the spirit of excellence. Good morning. This is Coach Sherry, Chaplain Sherry. This is your community pastor, Sherry. This is Sherry from the 800 block of Mooney Avenue, and today is the 30th day of Lent. It is the 30th day of our 40-day journey. And in just a few days, we will be at the grand celebration. We will be on the day where we have tried to get. But before we get to Resurrection Day, we have to get to the cross. We have to get to Good Friday. And so even though we know the end of the story, we do not want to rush to celebrate, because we want to feel all the feelings. We want to engage in the journey that Jesus took to get to the cross. And so on this 30th day of Lent, and before we get there, I just want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate you for being in this journey, on this journey with me. I want to celebrate you for just embarking upon this perhaps an untraditional look at a traditional story. As we are journeying to the cross, we are picking up spiritual habits and spiritual practices and spiritual ways of being that will help us to take on a new way of living, being, and doing in such a way that we don't pick up the things that we have put down. And so on this 30th day of Lent, we are fasting from self-confidence. We are fasting from self-confidence. Good morning, Reverend Donna. So glad to see you here with us this morning on our 30th day of Lent, and we are fasting from self-confidence. On yesterday, our fast was intimidation. That we were going to stand our ground in face of those who try to oppose us with their bullying ways. We don't care about your perceived power, but we are concerned that you pay attention to our presence, because our very presence can change the atmosphere and unnerve you. Good morning, Joyce. So glad to see y'all. Listen, today we are fasting from self-confidence. Now, I know in a time when we often talk about having more confidence and being confident in who you are and walking in the room to change the atmosphere. But we want to fast from, we want to decrease in saying what we would never do. What we will never, ever do. I would never. And a famous one that parents say all the time is, my children would never. My children would never do that. My children would never get on drugs. My children would my daughter would never. Only to find out that the very thing that we said would never sometime comes to pass. Good morning, Marquita. Glad to see you this morning. And so, what I discovered, it's best not to say what you would never. And perhaps change that language to say, I don't know what I would never do, but I would hope that I would never do. I don't know, because I haven't been presented with the problem or the situation that might challenge my never. Preacher, what you talking about? Let's look at Peter. Peter said, I am going with you all the way. In fact, I'm ready to die with you. This is the same Peter who just the other day cut off a person's ear because they were messing with his Jesus. This is the same Peter who always spoke up. This is the same Peter who did not care. He was going to speak up. Good morning, Sharon. Yes, this Peter who said he would never. But Peter found himself going opposite of what he said. That his actions did not line up with his mouth. Peter is placed in a position that he has to choose life or death. When they came for him, do you know Jesus? 3 times. And Peter said, no, I don't know it. So, and all the things that Peter did was public, right? He spoke up in public. He moved publicly, which is different from Judas, because we didn't know what Judas would do until he did it. So there was really no expectations about Judas. But with Peter, there was high expectations because Peter always did his thing in public. See, with Judas, Jesus saw it coming and said, well, whatever you're going to do, go ahead on and do it quickly. Let's get this on out of the way. But there is something different about how Jesus handled Peter. Jesus tells Peter, When you have turned back, strengthen your brothers. When you have, I know what you're getting ready to do, but this will not be your end. So when you come back, when you're restored, when you come back, I need you to strengthen your brothers. But even so, I'm wondering, the hurt Jesus must have experienced, the feelings he must have, the disappointment he must have experienced with Peter's actions. Today we are fasting from self-confidence. Because the truth be told, we don't know what we would do or not do until we are placed in a specific situation. We are fasting from self-confidence. We are fasting from really absolutes. And I know we say, it's heaven or hell, it's life or death, it's yes or no. But sometimes life presents us with, I don't know about you, but I have done some things that I would not have imagined ever doing. I didn't set out to do it. I did it. And after doing it, whether it was from the need to survive, whether it was from the desire to, accumulate more, to do more, I don't know. But there are times when we do things that we never would have imagined doing. But we did it. And instantly, we felt remorse or regret from doing it. Which is what happened really to both Peter and Judas. That the decisions that they made, they suffered from. They suffered because of internally. And so on this 30th day of Lent, let us decrease in self-confidence. We're going to decrease in self-confidence, and we're going to increase in God confidence. Listen, I'm the number one fan of having self-confidence because many of us think too lowly of ourselves and our worth. But I don't want us to have so much confidence in self that we, good morning, K-Son, good morning. I don't want us to have so much confidence that we overestimate ourselves. I believe that Peter overestimated himself and his ability to carry out or to put his money where his mouth was. And so when he was faced with a situation of the soldiers asking him, of those asking him, does he know Jesus? He said no. And I'm wondering, with the question or with the statement that Jesus tells Peter, When you return, strengthen your brothers. When you return, take care of your brothers. When you return, Peter, you're going to, yes, you're doing this. Yes, Peter, I know what you're getting ready to do. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to question you. But what I'm going to tell you, Peter, is when you come back, and you will come back. Now, that's some good news for us today. That when we have failed, it does not have to be the end of our story. That God is waiting for us when we have done the most unimaginable thing, the thing that we said we would never do. Good morning, Pastor Audra. Andra, good morning. That is not the end of our story. But I want us to be attentive in the ways that we declare what we will never do, which is why we can never judge another person and the things that they do when their backs are against the wall. Because we've all done some things. Listen, I don't care if it's buying food stamps. I don't care if it is putting your telephone bill in your newborn baby's name. I don't care if it is cheating in any kind of way that you find to do it. You said you would never do those things. But if it's a matter of life and death, we don't know what we would do. We don't know what we would do. And so let's not say what we won't do, just say what we have not done yet. And those who may be saying, well, Pastor Sherry, you're telling the people just go ahead on and do something. Just go ahead on and cheat or steal or... No, I'm not saying it. What I'm saying is that I'm not going to pass judgment on you because I don't know your story. And the way that I've gotten there, and listen, I've not always been this gracious to others. Because my magic words were, if I were you, or looked like to me she wouldn't be doing A, B, and C. Listen, until I had my own situation, and I end up doing some things that I wish I had not done, but I did them based upon the information that I had on the time, and I felt that I had to do it. Be kind to everyone you see because you don't know the great burden that they are carrying. So as you go throughout this day, I want you to decrease in self-confidence and increase in God's confidence. Decrease in self-confidence and increase in God's confidence. That's the only way to survive this thing. Listen, every day we are practicing, and we are making deliberate attempts to not do the things that we would later regret. Because Peter did regret his decision. And we're going to talk about that after resurrection. But we also know that sometimes life happens. For Peter, life happened. But That decision was not the end of his story. On this 30th day of Lent, we are fasting from, we are decreasing in God, in self-confidence, and we are increasing in God's confidence. Y'all be blessed, and may all be well with your day. Bye-bye.